everybody. This is the cID cHaSe is dEaD podcast. We're your hosts. My name's Nick.
And I'm Phil.
And we've been trying to make this podcast for a really long time.
Yes, it's been about 3 years in the making, I think. We started as a radio show.
Yes, yeah, we did. Yeah, at our ridiculous undergrad college that we went to, Marymount Manhattan College. What a place it was.
MMC, hail.
MMC, yeah, that is a really interesting thing. That the first thing that they made us do was hail to Marymount.
If you are saying hail to anything, I'm already suspicious.
I'm a little, yeah.
It's sus.
I gotta be honest.
You're sus.
It is a little.
If you're
bit
hailing
sus.
to anything, you're being sus.
Yeah. Look, like I give the place a bad rap. I met a lot of really great people there. Overall, there were some great professors. I guess, you know, like I went to college there for 4 years. I'd be very much lying if I said I didn't learn anything. But very strange vibes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, but we wanted to make this for a long time, ever since like we had the opportunity to do it at our college, and ever since then we kind of just wanted to have a space to kind of go back and forth and do some bits, and also talk about rap music, which is something that we're both, I think, very passionate about.
Absolutely.
And you know, like current events and politics. So, you know, it's just another group of white dudes coming in.
Yeah, you know, we're a couple of white guys just coming in to give you our opinion. You're welcome.
That's it. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
So this episode is called Unlocking Gangsta Biden. So we have three things that we're going to be talking about.
By the way, that is the kind of Biden that I would rather unlock.
I would like
if I needed a Biden and I had to unlock any of them, I think I would rather unlock Gangsta Biden
than just current Biden.
Like, or I would rather unlock Bernie Sanders in a Biden skin.
You know, I gotta be honest, I like Bernie, but he's a little... Dude, he's so old. It's like Biden.
He's so old, but if we're already going to have someone old, then, you know...
It might as well be someone cool.
It might... Not even just cool, just someone, like, competent.
Yeah. No,
you know?
I get that. Look, we'll listen. We'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll
get into that. But yeah, we're gonna have those two albums to talk about this week. So we're talking about Unlocked by Denzel Curry, which came out last year, and then Deadly Verses by Gangsta Pat, which it came out in 1995. So that's one thing we're gonna try and do every episode, is bring in a newer rap album and then an older rap album, and kind of talk about how they interact and you know, sort of coexist in the same culture. So what do you want to start with? Do you want me to go in with Unlocked, or do you want to start with Gangsta Pat?
Let's do Unlocked. Let's do new first, and then we'll do old later.
All right. Well, let me
I like the system. We're gonna have the system of new and old. Where we're gonna switch off with a newer album and an older album, because we want to kind of make ourselves more aware of not just, you know, current artists, but artists from all over the place.
Exactly.
All over the timeline.
Yeah. No, that's it. That's exactly it. So let me ask this first of all, Phil. Did you listen to Unlocked by Denzel Curry?
Absolutely. I listened to it like 20 times straight.
Okay, fair enough. Well, so did I. You know, I gotta be honest, I'm surprised that more people don't talk about it, only because, and I think the main reason for that is because it was released on February 7th of 2020. So anything that happened before that, there's no memory of it, and no one got to enjoy it, because a month and a week after that, so five weeks after he dropped that, the world shut down. Yep. So, I mean,
we were a little busy, you could say.
Yeah, we were a little busy. And unfortunately, a lot of his work, I think, got kind of swept up in that wave of pandemic panic. So that was disappointing to me, because I thought it was a really great project, and that's why I wanted to talk about it almost a year later, almost to the date. Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, it's 8 tracks. It runs like 18 minutes total, the whole thing. And I think it packs a punch. I mean, like, in those, like, you know, 8 tracks, it's really, I like it. I like it a lot.
I like it a lot. I think it's great work by both Denzel Curry and the producer, Kenny Beats. Ooh, Kenny.
Yeah,
I love his tagline, by the way.
Yeah,
if of all the taglines out there, he has a great one.
That is certainly a very good ad lib for him to throw in there at the beginning.
He's also just killing it right now. Like his streams on Twitch and everything, and like his social media presence. He has just been killing it during the quarantine. I mean, this album didn't get to go anywhere, but he has gone somewhere. Well, it's very impressive.
And one thing I wanted to really talk about on that was sure, it's like multi-tier marketing tactics, but like, I'm a filmmaker and that's what I mainly do. You're working in the same field that I do in entertainment. What I really appreciated was the music video that they dropped for that. Did you watch that?
I did.
Dude, 23 minutes long, and they did it for the whole album.
So good.
And it's really good. Like, I mean, they mix up kind of what they were doing with like they play with some animation and stuff like that in there and everything, and it, tells the story. But like, dude, all around, I think the project was really impressive.
Absolutely.
It packed a punch. Were there any highlights for you as far as tracks go? Here, I've got the track list up just to remind you.
Perfect.
It runs a little weird. I don't know why. If you guys have ever looked up music on Google, it does this thing where it puts it like the order. If this is the screen, it's like
weird.
1, 2, 3, 4 instead of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's very,
very
misleading. You read it through and you're like, oh, this is the way. Oh, that's not the order. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
So, I think. Well, let me ask you, what were your standouts? Were there any that you really liked?
I had a couple standouts, but for different reasons. So,
fair enough.
Take It Back and track 07.
Okay.
So incredible. They really gave me it was like Kenny Beats version of like 90s beats, like almost like boom bap almost.
Yep, I couldn't
But
agree
then
more.
Diet I love so much because it was so quintessential Denzel Curry.
Yeah, I couldn't agree
was
more.
like
that biting
it
flow,
was, and like the da like just hitting that
what it is and what it ain't.
Yeah,
dude,
like
that,
it was,
yeah,
and it was, and
very good.
I love that he stayed so consistent on like his use and like quality use of like the vocal pitch shifting.
Yeah,
he does the ups, downs. Like it really reminds me of like what Kendrick would do during Mad City, what he did during parts of Damn. Definitely. You know what I mean? Like,
well, he's got a great vernacular too. I mean,
his bar game is amazing.
He's like he's like Aesop Rock and many people like that I've listened to. Where like, I mean, dude, he's coming in using words that I have not heard before in a rap album, which is hard, because a lot of things are out now.
He's conscious but not condescending, which I think is so fucking nice.
Yeah, and like, I know that I heard some people say that, they kind of were rolling their eyes at him a little bit after the Clout Cobain stuff, because it was a little on the nose. I mean, like, look, I liked it for what it was.
I liked that whole album.
But like, I can
bangers all the way through.
Oh, it did. I'm a fan of that. I can see where people might not like it if it's not your thing. Like if you already thought that like emo rap, quote unquote, was taking over, and I'm not calling it emo rap, but like I'm just saying that music video, that aesthetic, that look could very easily fool you to just being like, oh fuck it, it's just another emo rap album. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could totally see that. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean the cover art for it is just very emo rap, like something that little people have made, but like. But what he put inside of it, the bread might have not have looked as good on the sandwich, but the meat was fucking gabagool.
Oh, it was, dude. Yeah, and
it was delicious.
He's hard though. He's hard the entire way through it. But yeah, it was definitely very, very like boom bap. It actually, one thing that both of the albums this week had in common, at least for me, was it reminded me of Big L a lot, in many ways. Big L's like second and last studio album, which I actually want to talk about later when we bring up Deadly Verses, but The Big Picture, it reminded me a lot of that album. In some ways, like I think mainly just in like attitude, and while the Big Picture is like bigger, like it's a much bigger LP of an album if my memory serves. But yeah, I would say that they have similar tones. The flows are kind of the same, so I like that. I appreciated that little nod, I guess.
Yeah, and it was very interesting because like it was like the style of like rhythmically it was like 90s boom bap, but the sample and the drum kits that Kenny was using was very interesting because it wasn't like I feel like when I listen to like 90s boom bap, when I think about it and I think of the drums, I'm thinking of like in studio or like big room, really big like boom, boom, stuff like that, and
something that you can play
it wasn't that on stuff
well.
on tracks like Take It Back or on tracks like So Incredible. It wasn't like that.
Yeah,
it was very like new age almost. Like they were like the snare had no reverb on it. It was short. The kick had no like boom to it. It was just like a doom. Yeah, it was almost like a EDM drum.
I would completely agree with that. But on that thing, like for So Incredible, like I also liked how playful he could get on some of the tracks. Like I mean, the I don't want to at all say that the choruses are like they're not goofy or anything like that, but they're fun. Like they're not. He's able to come in hard, but then still like sort of have fun with the like, you know, the like little drip hop coming from the that sort of sing-songy stuff, which like I've heard Eminem do a lot recently and some other artists do, which sort of is hit or miss in a lot of their projects. But Denzel kind of owns it, I think, in a lot of ways, and it works well. So
yeah, I agree.
I like
and
it a lot.
Denzel also, you know, comes with the energy that he has. Like, it's not screaming, but it's like it's in your face, and I like it a lot. It's very, very him. He's stayed very, I said earlier, consistent.
Yeah,
like with his sound, and I always appreciate that, especially from someone who hasn't really been dropping albums for like not even 10 years.
Yeah, it's very much like it was the stuff that he was releasing before the XXL cover. It was the freestyle that he did on XXL. Like it's been the same sound, and
he knows who he is when it comes to making his music, and when it comes to expressing his messages, what he wants to say, his thoughts, ideas, all of it.
Yeah, he's got a fan base. He's obviously got places to go. He's done his duty of like getting some roots into punk in there, and that like I remember he was in that like. It was a band that re-recorded some music. I think it was like on a re-recording of someone's initial album. It was like a punk band, and like I've read reviews of Unlocked talking about how they sort of compared it to like a hardcore album. Like I think that's in the description of like Apple Music. I don't know if you have Apple Music, but like it's before every album they kind of like break down everyone. I'm pretty sure that's maybe where I read it, where it was like it kind of has some elements of like hardcore in it, and I could see that maybe as like a project, like umbrella kind of thing. Like it's very brief and packs a huge punch, and there's not many tracks, and they don't run incredibly long. There I can see it, but I guess like thematically it's not very punk, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I could see
which
that.
Is good. It's like as a I think like leaning towards old style, but like pretty down the middle hip hop rap fan that I am. I like that. Because I don't want to see a lot of punk, because we've seen how that can go. In the last few
totally
years,
get that.
with some 93 Punks, Speeding Bullet to Heaven kind of stuff, which did not end up very well.
Very true. Very, very true.
So
well, and it also like when you talk about like thematically, like when I look at the cover art and like the kind of like theme of just like the beats and everything, it really reminds me of so like those 90s rap albums where it was like MF Doom, like when it was like the comic book almost.
Yeah, or
like that
even
kind of
the
cover.
early 2000s kind of
yeah,
stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like oh my gosh, I can't even remember who it is right now, and now I'm getting mad.
Well, yeah, but now that you just said that reminds me of like Food by MF Doom.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like
Food.
that's really good.
Or Czarface. That's who I was thinking of. Czarface.
Okay, yeah.
It reminds me a lot of like their albums.
Yeah,
and, like,
I could see that.
Their kind of like beat making, but they stayed with like the aesthetic and like in terms of like instruments and effects that they would put on or whatever on the actual mix. They stayed with the 90s, while like this one, like it was like modernized almost.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more.
Hit the shit out of my
You
mic.
just knocked that pop filter.
I was very, very excited.
Dude, it happens. What are you going to do?
I like this album a lot because I hadn't listened to it yet.
Well, I'm glad.
Until we started coming
into
to this, and now I really like it a lot.
Well, yeah, I remember picking it up like when it came out, because I like Denzel Curry, and I wanted to get more into his stuff. So when that dropped, I was like, all right, this is gonna be like, you know, you have that with an artist. It's like that's gonna be my first release, like following an artist. I'm gonna like actually pay attention to them and follow it. So I got that album, and I listened to it a lot, like going to therapy, actually, like traveling from here to my therapist's office in like Williamsburg or like East Williamsburg. And I don't know. I mean, like, I guess I'm biased because I was going to talk about my feelings, but it was always very like got me into a good headspace. Especially like, you know, my favorites off of them were probably like Pyro and Diet. I really like Diet a lot. Yeah, that they just got me into a really good headspace, not in like I'm gonna go like fight everyone, take on the world kind of thing, but it was just more of like like I'm gonna take care of my shit and I don't care what anyone like thinks.
That's exactly what I got from Diet. That's the exact kind of vibe, and it was like a great pump up. Not if you're about to go fight someone, like you said.
Yeah.
But you know, it's great if like you wanna, like if you need to like if you're like doing errands or something. Yeah. And you need some kind of like motivation just to go do something. I think it's great because it's just being like a fuck you, I'm on my shit. Well, get out of my face.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean that's That's really all I can say about it. You've got your 40.
Shouts out to Coors Light.
Yeah, Phil has an unhealthy obsession with Coors. Now, listen, I have an unhealthy obsession literally with Coca-Cola, but I would dare to say that Phil has an unhealthier obsession with Coors.
People like to shit on it because it's a very light beer, and they call it water. Well, if that's the case, then it's God's water.
I don't think that's true. I don't
What's
believe...
up?
I don't believe in any of that, and I still am offended. I gotta be honest with you. Like, if there's a God out there who makes Coors as their water, then I'd rather there just be nothing.
The distillery is in a place called Golden, Colorado. I mean, can you get a better place?
Yes, I can almost guarantee you.
Disagree.
Have you been anywhere outside of the United States?
Yes, I have. And
beautiful
France is pretty sick, but Golden, Colorado, dude.
I like Colorado.
I'm just saying it's fate. It's destiny. They are meant to be the best
hate to
beer.
Colorado, no anything. It's a great state.
Shouts out to Colorado. Shouts out to Hannah and Jared.
Oh my God, I need to shout out Olga. Dude, I need to shout out Olga TD Bank. If any of you guys need your business banking done, you guys go down to Olga at 19th. It's the 19th Street TD Bank on First Avenue. It's like First Avenue and 19th Street. This woman was a godsend. I had been all over Brooklyn looking for a TD Bank, deposit some shit. I really appreciate it. So if you guys need some help,
Olga. I didn't know that not even just women, just anyone out there was named Olga. Actually,
yeah, and she was very.
That seems like one of those names that's like, you're like, are you actually named that, or are you just make that?
I feel that way about the name Constance. You ever met a bitch named Constance?
Dude, have I? For my school, by the way, shouts out LIU. My school.
I'm sorry. Look, again, no beef trying to come at anyone named like Constance or anything. I'm just talking about, in my experience.
I'm having to work with a woman named Constance right now, and she's very nice. Shouts out to Connie. Thank you so much for helping me.
The only woman I've ever met that was named Constance was the woman from Monster House. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
Yo, we're talking about it though. Monster House.
Monster House is pretty dope.
That shit is fire.
That was a very good movie.
That shit's fire.
I feel like it's recognized though. You know, like I don't think
like for what time it came out and how good the animation is, like and how smooth it is, how consistent.
Yeah,
like it's so good.
No, look, like again,
it's so good,
very good. Shouts out to Monster House. I'm just saying,
big shouts out
to Monster House.
If I was Chet Hanks, I would say big ups to Monster House.
Big Shaq.
Oh, dude,
you're talking about Big
Shaq? We can't get too off track.
I know we can't.
Okay,
we really can't go into Big Shaq territory.
Like we said, you should go listen to Unlocked.
You should definitely
by
listen
Denzel Curry and Kenny Beats.
100%. And if you can, watch the music video that's on YouTube. I'm pretty sure they have them individually, but if you can watch the full 20-minute one, very good.
I recommend it. They transition smoothly. It's actually like one good project, honestly.
No, yeah, it's definitely like worth the time to actually watch it rather than just listen to the album. But if you can only listen to the album, if you're a like driving to work, commuting kind of person to listen to your new stuff, then for sure. Just listen to the album.
Absolutely, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Well, Phil, I believe it's time, just for a moment before we get to Gangsta Pat, to talk a little bit about the name of the podcast.
The name of the podcast.
Just
of course, we have to talk about it a little bit. Even if it's just a little bit.
Even if it's just a teeny tiny. Even if it's just a teeny tiny bit.
Can I tell you something real quick before we get into that too?
Yes, what's that?
The before.
The before.
I got genuinely in trouble at home over the holidays with my mom for doing that voice.
Well, for doing the Trump voice?
She hates it. Shouts out to Deb.
Shouts out to Deb for sure.
Hates that voice
really?
When I do it.
Is it just
when I walk around and I go, okay, what's the problem here?
Okay,
what are you doing?
What do you need?
Okay. You need to get out of my face. You know, we used to be good friends, very close person. And then she got taken over by the Dems. The corrupt, unfair Dems. Sad. Very sad.
Oh, dude. And she just won't have it anymore in her house.
She told me if I did it again, then I wasn't allowed to eat dinner with them that night.
Wow. You almost got knocked from the table.
Yeah.
Wow.
I almost got banished.
You almost got banished.
Banished.
We're gonna.
I wish I had bigger lips because it's funnier with people who have bigger lips.
We're gonna
do that because it's so cool and intense.
We're gonna put a video of Phil's lips vibrating right here, and we're just gonna let it run right here for just a second. You can see him.
Wow.
There we go. All right, cool. Well, now that you guys have seen that, CHaSe is dead. So
yes, CHaSe is dead.
Phil and I.
Rest in peace to CHaSe.
Yes, I really miss CHaSe. Now, here's the thing.
Very unfortunate.
When Phil and I met at Marymount Manhattan College the freshman year that we both attended together, we happened to move in with a demigod-like being that we didn't realize.
You could say almost full godlike being.
Yeah,
if you wanted to.
He's kind of a leviathan more than anything else. And
I would agree.
We had the interesting opportunity of becoming his friend while he was on the mortal plane, and we got quite a few crazy adventures with this person. And his name is CHaSe, and he is gone now. So
he is.
Yeah. So we're gonna.
And by gone, he's not dead.
Yeah, not dead. Not
he just
not
isn't
dead in his form.
He's in Cleveland, so he's basically dead.
He's kind of dead. Yeah.
He's like
dead.
Practically dead.
Yeah. So every time.
So basically, this episode. Do I sound weird in your headphones at all?
No.
Okay. In mine, I do. But
how? What do you mean by weird?
I sound like there's someone like my voice, but an octave up. It's fine. It's probably just me being weird. So
I don't hear anything.
So basically, today's lesson for the lore.
Yes.
Is the Genesis of CHaSe.
Yes.
This is chapter 1, Genesis on the book of CHaSe.
Yes. It was said that in the beginning there was nothing but CHaSe, some quarks, gluons, and a singularity.
But only one singularity. Because if you had more, it wouldn't be a singularity.
You'd have a multi-arity. So CHaSe was hanging out one day, and he got bored, and he thought, you know what? Make things happen. Boom. Time's a thing. Boom. Everything else is a thing. Boom. Big bang.
Especially boom, music is a thing.
Music thing.
Music is the essence of all things in the eyes of CHaSe.
Music is the way.
Music is in medicine, in science, in health.
Medicine is in
Medicine
law.
and health are the same thing.
Medicine is the way.
Medicine is also the way. Everything is a substance. All the substances were created when CHaSe said, hey, do that. And it was good.
And it is. And that's about it for this week.
That was chapter 1 of Genesis in the book of CHaSe.
Exactly. So we're going to be back every week.
If you could please pull out your hymnals.
Yes. Please pull out your hymnals. You can
go to
mark
page
down
494. We will now sing CHaSe is dead.
You had the opportunity to drop.
Oh, halt thou. CHaSe is dead.
You had the opportunity to drop page 394, and you didn't?
I did, and
page
didn't want
394.
I didn't want to.
You didn't want to do it.
No, I didn't want to do it. Well, we'll get to 394. I don't know if they're ready for 394.
I wanted to do it. Anyway, so we're going to be back every week with a new... I just kicked that.
Man, I mean, we're just beating the hell out of
our equipment.
These fucking microphones.
But yeah, we'll be back every week with a new piece of CHaSe lore, so you guys can learn more about the demigod Leviathan.
We think it's important to spread the word. You know, you could think of us as disciples if you wanted to.
Something of that nature, at least. All right, Phil, you want to dive into Gangsta Pat? Tell us a little bit about Deadly Verses from 1995.
So Deadly Verses came out by Gangsta Pat. It is including other, fellow Memphis rappers. He's from Memphis, Tennessee.
There we go.
Which, by the way, you hear a lot about the dangerous parts of L.A. and the dangerous parts of New York and Chicago. You want to go someplace that's actually dangerous?
Yep.
Memphis.
Yeah, I've never been to Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay, that place,
I gotta be honest.
I've been twice.
You've been twice.
Count it twice.
2 times.
Both times.
Hold on. 1, 2. Okay.
That's twice.
That's twice.
Both times, I saw things that genuinely scared me.
Well, what do you mean exactly?
So,
I'm gonna shut this laptop again.
Because it's Tennessee.
Because
it's Tennessee and it's the South. What do you think of when you think of the South? You think of people walking around. What do you think of?
I don't.
Like, what do you think? What do you think they have?
Guns.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone has a fucking gun.
Okay. Cool.
Everyone is strapped. The glizzy is with everyone, and we are with the glizzy.
With the glizzy, you've got that point.
Yes.
Well, let me ask you this question: what kind of glizzies are they strapped with? Because see, that's the thing that I've noticed is the hugest difference. Like
it's usually actual pistols. It's just a thing to be armed at all times.
No, that's fair. Like, because in Florida, I've seen people with like Glocks, and then in Texas, I've seen people with like big 357 revolvers, and both are intimidating in different ways. So,
well, here's the thing: there's a very big class gap in terms of financial situations in Memphis.
In Memphis, okay, all right.
And there's a lot of poverty, so I'm sure it's not very expensive guns. It might be. I don't know.
Look, there's no judgment.
No, there's no judgment at all.
I ask. It's more just like, what are people walking around with?
I'm assuming it's probably like Tech 9s.
Okay.
It's like someone's got a Beretta, someone's got a, maybe if you've got a Glock, like, but you know, it's probably pretty easy to get a gun in Tennessee, so maybe it could be really any kind, honestly.
Okay.
But all I know is that, I did my research on Memphis and I looked things up, and wow, there's a lot of guns. There was a video I saw, and I wish I could find it because I wish I could do this. And
if we can find it, we're gonna put a link to it right here, just so you guys.
And
can
if
watch
not,
it.
We're pointing to nothing.
Yeah, we're pointing to literally. Actually, in fact, I'm gonna put up a ridiculous picture of you and me right there.
Yeah, right there. That's gonna be us.
Yep.
I can't believe we look like that.
I can't believe we did that, or we don't, and we're just making more of a fool.
Or we actually got it.
Yeah, we'll see.
We will see, won't we? So this video that I saw is there's a guy basically saying it's a Memphis tradition to walk up and basically point a gun at your friend or someone you know or associated with.
Okay.
To check and see if they're strapped as well. And every person, this guy went up to like...
So just walk
This guy went up to like 10 people and was just like, hey man, what are you doing right now? And every person, even the guy behind the counter at the gas station. The guy behind the counter at the gas station.
Was just strapped.
It underneath.
What'd you
do? Dude, I was like, that's insane. Like, I thought Texas was insane with the guns.
That's pretty good.
Maybe y'all don't know this. I'm from Houston. I'm sure I'll say it again.
Yeah, I'm sure all over the place.
I'm sure I'll bring it up again. I'm kind of obsessed with Houston, Texas. Just Texas in general.
For a while.
It's kind of a thing with Texans. We're like weirdly obsessed with our state more than anyone else.
State from what I remember of it.
Like New York people are only obsessed with like either your town, like from like Buffalo or something like that, like true. Ithaca, or you're from New York City and you're like, I only like New York City. Everywhere else sucks.
True. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel that
New Jersey doesn't like themselves. Florida seems to be exploding from the inside at all times.
That's a whole nother topic.
California is really just like LA, San Diego, or San Francisco, and everywhere else. They're like, it kind of sucks.
We're just checking off.
Yeah. I'm just basically explaining to y'all why Texas is the best and why we have the best fan base of all time. And there's
Did you guys just cheat at the World Series like twice?
Hey.
Hey, look, I don't mean to rain on your parade.
Look, man. I'm not in charge of those things.
You said they have the best.
You rude ass.
You said they have the best fan base.
I'm saying Texas as a state, you ass. Yeah, I understand that Houston cheated. Trust me, I had to get rid of some of my gear for the Astros because I was like, well, I can't walk around with this, especially not in New York. I'll get jumped.
No, not a good idea here.
The only worst place I could wear it would be like LA because we stole a World Series from them.
That was pretty bad.
I feel like baseball. I could go to Washington and it wouldn't really matter because what are y'all gonna do? You're from Washington.
We're just making enemies left and right on the first.
I don't care. It's Washington State. What are they gonna do? What are they gonna? Are they gonna?
No, I thought. Wait, wasn't it the Nationals?
Yeah,
that's Washington D.C.
Is it really?
Yes. State.
Let me tell you how much I don't care about anywhere else but Texas.
Gangsta Pat was from Memphis, Tennessee, and.
So basically about this album, it's very 90s.
Deadly Verses.
It's very early 2000s. It's when you think of murder rap, this album is murder rap, okay? Like there's songs called Deadly Verses, which is including the villain. You've got songs like Killa Killa. You've got songs like OJ Murder Story.
I like that one a lot actually.
Which is Gangsta Pat coming from OJ Simpson's point of view. And basically I mean, like, it's rap, so there's some kind of, like, bragging in it, because you got to build yourself up.
Braggadocio,
like, it's not, I wouldn't
All right. Sorry about that, guys. We just had a little bit of camera difficulty. I also realized that I am out of focus for most of that first shot, so that's gonna suck.
Nice.
But
That's awesome.
It's okay. I'm a little bit more in focus now, and we're gonna figure out better monitoring system and a few other things for episode 2.
Yes, indeed.
But yeah, so as you were saying, Gangsta Pat, OJ murder story. You need to build yourself up a little bit. You got to brag a little bit on the track. But
here's with his thing. It's like not bragging. It's hype.
Yeah, no,
you know, he has to hype himself
up. I also
up.
put this here as I found out.
So it's a very interesting story of Gangsta Pat like pretending to be OJ and basically just like verbally dunking on the two victims, his wife.
If my memory serves too, it is a relaxed flow. Like, I mean,
it's a pretty relaxed flow. Like it's almost like a confession,
sort of
like in jail, like 15, 20 years after you murder, and you're like, yeah, you know what, I'll talk about it. But like in a way that like he did. So I guess it wouldn't be like reflective though, because he is being like, yeah, I did that shit. I stabbed her. Like, here I brought up some of the lyrics.
Okay, let's hear some of these lyrics.
So let me talk about some of these.
We'll probably put them
lyrics
here or somewhere. Somewhere on the screen so you can read them yourself.
So he says it begins with, yeah, this psycho in the motherfucking house. Mm-hmm. He calls himself a psycho because he literally kills people, apparently.
Oh, word, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sitting here smoking on a fat ass blunt. Mm-hmm. I know you remember me from the first album, Number One Suspect, which is his first album that he dropped, which went so wild around Tennessee and just like the East Coast. Went hard. Everyone loved it. It was right when like murder rap and like really hard, like grimy, just like talking about like the worst possible thing. It was the type of rap that came out where like your parents would be like, don't listen to rap because all they talk about is killing people. Like it was like stereotypical, like white parents would be like, all they talk about is killing people.
God damn.
You know?
Okay, all right.
But it was masterful.
Yeah, what's some?
Because it's Gangsta Pat, and he's in my opinion, one of the like classic like OG East Coast.
I would have to agree, and I think he's very underappreciated.
Like I think he built a lot of like the sound and like the darkness that like a lot of East Coast rap has over like the relaxed like yo what's up of the West Coast. You know what I mean? Vibe.
Yeah.
So let's go down
kind of flow of just.
Let's see. Let's look at some of these lyrics. Now these lyrics are
great lyrics
very,
from
very interesting.
OJ Murder Story, a classic by Gangsta Pat, coming to you live now.
Okay, so basically what happened?
I'm just kissing the mic. A good little kiss.
I said to myself, "Oh my gosh, this is crazy." So basically, goes into talk about like how he's robbing OJ's house, right? Okay, and now he literally beat up Nicole.
Okay.
Basically.
Okay.
She said her name was Nicole. Nicole, I said, where you heading? She said, with you if you let me roll. Shit, hop in, bitch. Okay, huh?
All right, cool.
And then... Oh, you know what? I'm wrong about this. I've just realized that this story is not that. You know what this is? This is that he, Gangsta Pat, met up with Nicole, OJ's wife, and then had sex with her in OJ's house. And that's why OJ killed her. After reading, I just read one line that has completely changed my mind about this whole song.
What was the name of the guy who got killed?
Oh, man, I do not know. Let's see.
It's like something... Oh, fuck, I can't remember.
This is why we need an intern already.
This is, for sure.
Ron Goldman.
That's it. God damn it. If it was a multiple choice test.
Man, he's hot, too.
Names.
Yo, I'm going to put up... Here's a picture of Ron Goldman.
Yep, Ron Goldman
Nicole Brown Simpson.
Mary Brown Simpson.
Dude, look at him right now. He's hot.
He
was hot,
very good looking people.
Wasn't he like he was like a model, right?
Straight up murder.
And also, wasn't he gay?
I don't know.
I heard that there was like this whole thing about like he was like it doesn't even matter if he was gay or not. He shouldn't have been brutally murdered by O.J. Simpson.
She was, if I remember, I have said that too many times. I need to stop saying.
Damn,
if
she's
my
hot
memory
too.
Serves, but like sincerely, if I remember that correctly, dude, she was almost decapitated because he stabbed her so many fucking times, bro.
Oh yeah, and Ron Goldman was literally like unrecognizable.
Yeah, that is horrific shit, man.
Man,
I don't know,
dude. Wow, he's hot. Sorry.
You were focusing really heavily on Ron Goldman.
Sorry, I just like that was the first time I really got a good look at him. Okay, anyways, about this album. So basically, like,
okay, look,
so
I agree with
this
you.
whole album is full of songs like OJ Murder Story. There's, like I said, Mo Murda. There's Deadly Verses, which is the album titled song, and that's a fantastic song. If you ever want to hear people, him, Gangsta Pat, and the villain who is featured on the trap, they go about 50 for 50, bar for bar, like they just spitting constantly, and it's unbelievable. Like, and you can tell that like they're doing it in like 1 to 2 breaths per the whole thing, per their like phrase, and it's so much, and it continues, and you think that like the way that the mix comes down, the beat is going, you think that it's gonna switch, and it doesn't. They keep rapping, and it's just like it's
unrelenting
on the 16th notes. It's unbelievable how much, and like literally unrelenting. All about, you guessed it, murder.
Yeah. No, yeah. It really brought me back, and I really shouldn't say it like that. It didn't bring me back because this album came out fucking 5 years before the album that I'm about to talk about. But it gave me, again, those Big Picture by Big L vibes, because I am not as well versed with Gangsta Pat as I am with Big L. And yeah, it was very much like The Heist, The Enemy, like Ebonics kind of vibes from that album. Like, that's what it gave me immediately.
Yeah.
And in a very good way. Like, I really enjoyed it. Let me pull up the Gangsta Pat track list. Okay, there we go. I love Deadly Verses. I think that was my top one. Like I said, I really liked OJ Murder Story and Killa. I also very much
what the
enjoyed.
fuck you gonna do? I mean, amazing song.
Again, like Denzel
amazing
Curry,
song.
didn't like shy away from just doing on the nose, kind of, again, not goofy, just sort of like ridiculous, bold chorus lines like that. Where it's just like, dude,
almost skit like it was almost like a skit, like
exactly.
like he was doing like a call and response kind of thing.
Exactly.
Very good.
I really appreciate
that.
It was also
very good.
Pretty brief overall. Like, I mean, it wasn't like a short album, and that's not at all what I'm saying. I just mean it didn't overstay its welcome.
No,
it's 10
not at
tracks.
all. It's very like condensed. There's a lot to go in there. You could spend so much time just dissecting his lyrics and kind of going over it. And he's very, very like lyrically. I would say like overcompetent. Like, I mean, he's incredibly smart and very lyrical. Also, I do want to mention one specific track on this album called "Tear the Club Up."
Yes,
which when you listen to it,
I believe, not coming to mind. I don't know why. I listened to this album multiple times before today. I don't know why.
The chorus where they say "Tear the Club Up" is the exact same phrasing as the Travis Scott's part in one of the Astroworld songs. Fuck the club, dude.
Maybe that's
why. Tear the club up. Tear the club. That's exactly what the song is. And I've never found anything or any artist or song or album, anything that does that exact thing before Gangsta Pat. So I think Travis Scott either took inspiration or just ripped him off,
just bit him,
and wasn't just purely bit that thing and thought that no one was gonna find it. Because I mean, looking at it now, I mean, Gangsta Pat doesn't come up in conversation at all, really.
Unfortunately,
and that's why it's sad. That's why I wanted to talk about it on episode 1, because I think that this album is amazing, and it has so much. It's just classic after classic after banger after banger after hit after boom pow after bing bang bong, motherfucker.
Look, I couldn't agree more. I mean, like it again, just like Unlocked, it packs a punch. I really enjoyed listening to it. You've definitely, and I again say this in the best of ways, you got to be in a mood to listen to it.
Yes.
It's not an album that you can listen to every day for anybody, I don't think. However, when you want something, as you said before, grimy, if you want something very 90s New York, well, not even New York, like, I would say New York, like in spirit, I guess, not as much in location. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what you're looking for.
If you are in the mood to ride down the street, windows down, and be like, fuck you to everyone, this is the album to put on.
If you're in the mood for drill music,
put on Tear the Club Up, put on Deadly Verses, put on Mo Murda, put on Killer. You will bump it, and it is amazing. You will feel like a badass.
If you are in the mood for drill music, when drill music makers were literally not even born yet, this is the album for you, for sure.
Oh, 100%.
100%.
Yeah, with the way that they spit flows, that if you like drill music, the beginnings of that was like Deadly Verses, like that kind of thing. Man, you're just beating up your mic, huh?
Anyway.
But I also want to say there are two relaxed songs.
Oh yeah,
more relaxed. There's also I Want to Smoke, which is an amazing song to just literally put on a playlist for smoking. Any 420 playlist.
Straight up herbs, right? I am so sorry, everyone.
That is great.
That's horrible. It's terrible.
It is a perfect 420 playlist song. I think
I would
it's
agree.
also on a great just like vibes playlist. It's a very 90s. It's chronic. I mean, the cover art for when it was dropped as a single, because that was when it was first dropped, was as a single, and he literally just photoshopped or whatever the earliest version of Photoshop was. I'm gonna end you. He put his face over like basically the Chronic album.
Yeah, we'll put it right here.
This is what it looks like. That's what it looks like.
Yep.
So I mean, like it
dope,
has
actually.
that kind of vibe of like we're just smoking. I don't give a fuck. And so he can bring in that West Coast too. He's very versatile, and that's what I feel like came out of Memphis.
Yeah,
and and that's why I want to look more into like Memphis around his time.
Yeah,
and kind of and kind of explore, maybe even bring it up on the cast, on the Cid cast,
I would have to
as
agree.
we're gonna call it, the Cid
City
cast.
boy. Cid cast.
Not to be confused with acid or LSD. We're not talking about psychedelics unless it just happens to come up.
Yeah. If it comes up in another episode, we might dive into that.
Yeah,
but it is
we're
not
not doing that
specifically
now.
for psychedelic discussion.
Yeah.
All right. I think we've got our two albums out of the way, so we should move on to some, unfortunately, current events.
Current events.
Phil.
With Phil and Nick.
Yes.
I basically just bit off Tiger Belly there. I don't know if anyone watches Bobby Lee's podcast. Shout out to Bobby Lee. Shout out to George. So sorry. Shout out to Kalila.
But yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit about what's been going on, and I don't know if we're gonna touch on anything too crazy different than probably everyone else.
I was at the riot. I'm just kidding. I was not at the riot. I was not at the Capitol riot.
Phil was actually at the riot.
FBI. I was not there.
Phil was actually a member of the team that broke into the Senate floor.
I was the guy who with the horn thing.
He's also
that fucking idiot.
Yep. Phil was also an architect of. Anyway,
we're
gonna move on. We're gonna move on from that. It's okay. It's all right.
I was not.
We're gonna censor that part out. So $50 to any viewer who can guess what atrocity
Nick orchestrated the. I said it.
All right, we got to bleep that out. If you can name either of the atrocities that Phil and I were both just implicated in, then we will send you a free Sidcast t-shirt, which will be coming at some point when we actually.
I hope you guys
have
got
a
to hear
decent
me
following.
gulp that water just now, because I was a thirsty boy.
Oh, we were getting thirsty. You were getting thirsty on
I was
it?
getting real thirsty on it.
That's horrible. Okay,
All right, so these current events.
So we have a new president.
guys.
We do,
Hey,
which is crazy.
Hey,
that's pretty cool.
I know it happened a while ago, but that's pretty cool.
That was pretty cool. Well, here's the thing. You're 23.
Small town.
I'm 22. Yep. Yeah, a little.
This was the first. This was not the first election that we got to take part in.
No, we could vote.
But
in
man,
the last
did we
one.
have an important two elections?
Yeah,
over the last two ones.
We've had a couple. But I remember parts of Bush's presidency. That's when I became aware of politics. I think because I was a child when he was literally elected. I was 2 years old, and then until 10.
Sorry to everyone for my audio, real quick.
And then we had Obama for a lot of my time in my formative years, and then as soon as I went to college,
big up to Obama.
Yeah, big up
What's
to
up, war
Obama.
criminal?
Yeah, unfortunately, my favorite president, but you still fucked up a lot of times, Obama. Anyway,
that's your favorite president?
He's one of my favorite presidents. Actually, he's not my favorite. FDR is probably my favorite, just because, dude, come on, the man was.
I mean, he's pretty
crazy.
cool. Yeah,
the man was.
One
crazy.
of my favorite was Bill Clinton.
Yeah,
but that's only because I'm only
well.
here because he was elected a second time.
Yeah, no, I liked Obama.
My parents worked for him, so
dude, that's
when he won.
That's fair.
If you can understand, my birthday's in October.
Yeah.
Oh, what was 9 months before the inauguration?
Yeah, the inauguration. Yeah, that makes sense. But no, like I like Clinton. I like Obama as well a lot. But
Obama.
yeah, I mean, it's been a wild ride. They always say like, oh, you're gonna tell your kids about this, but like legitimately
Wild
speaking,
seems a little understated.
Yeah, like we're I have a feeling.
Terrible.
I have a feeling if either of us have kids, then yeah, they're definitely gonna be like, dude, what the fuck happened?
We're gonna
for
be like,
10
honestly,
years?
we don't know how that shit happened
we
either.
don't know.
We both voted for not him.
Yeah, we both. Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much it. I mean, I'm optimistic as to what Biden
And
could
him
do.
as in Trump. I voted for Biden.
Yeah, I also voted for Biden
Because obviously.
Yeah. So,
But it's very. I'm very excited to see what's going to happen.
yeah,
Because
me too. I'm optimistic.
As someone who grew up with very politically minded parents, both government majors, they both worked in the government, like 4 senators with, representatives and Texas legislators and everything like that. And
Yeah.
it's nice to see actual politics come back
Yeah,
into the
that's-
executive branch, not a fucking dork
Yeah,
with bad hair and a fascist fan base.
I know. It was very upsetting. I mean, like,
It was crazy.
Yeah, dude. I come from a military family. My dad served for a lot of time. My brother's still in the army, and like, I'm in no way really like a patriot myself. Like, I like the United States. I like my country, but like, I'm not exactly proud of it for a lot of different reasons. But
Not proud of its past.
Yeah, and it definitely hurt me to know that, like, especially for them, like the commitment at least that they had made, like regardless of your politics or your stance on that or anything like that, they wanted to defend the country, and it's unfortunate to see a group of very selfish, insane people come in and try and throw that away. And look, like, I know that there's been a lot of comparisons made back and forth between how the liberal and democratic people handled Trump's election in 2016. And the main thing that I've always said is, though, like, there was no question, though, as to that he actually won the presidency. Like, sure, people came out and they did the whole not my president thing.
Yeah.
But there was no actual movement to overthrow the results. And that was sort of the difference for me, as is usually the case of those technicalities that conservative people will pull in of, you said this one time in a completely different context, and now we're going to flip it when the situation is convenient for us. Like, that's the classic thing to do. But
I will say that both sides do that, though. Like, Democrats have done that before,
absolutely
too.
do that. You're right. I shouldn't have said the conservative thing to do. It's the political thing to do.
Not defending Trump supporters or anything. So don't get that in your head, okay?
No, not at all. We're both pretty centrist. We just believe that the system
I
is
hate
fucking
both
terrible.
sides. I'm not in the left, center, or right.
Yeah. No, you're just out of it completely.
I'm out of it.
Well, see,
I don't believe in any of
center.
this shit. I think that we need a new constitution. I think we need to start this shit from scratch.
Maybe that's the case. I'm in the middle right now because I'd like to believe that eventually, when like people come to, well, you know what? Maybe they will never come to their senses. But
No,
if people come to
they
their
never will.
senses,
We're
can
two-party
do it.
system is so fucking ingrained
we
in
were
this
warned
bullshit.
about it for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
We
And then
weren't supposed to do that.
and then what did we immediately do when he was gone?
I know.
Jefferson and Adams were like, by the way, fuck your side. And he was like, fuck your side. And they were just like, all right, then fuck each other's sides.
know.
And then they were banging, dude.
gotta
They
be
were
honest.
banging in the Capitol, dude. That's a well-known fact.
Here's my thing, though.
Jefferson and John Adams were banging in the Capitol. And don't let your history teachers tell you different.
You weren't supposed to tell them that.
I don't care.
Dude, if you
I don't care if they come after
If
me.
you keep talking about
don't
it,
care
they're
if they
gonna
come after me.
Phil,
Dude, I
Phil,
don't care if
they're
they come
gonna know
after
about
me.
the time machine.
I don't care.
They're gonna know
I
about the
don't
time
care.
machine.
Let them know. Let them know. What are they gonna do? Come back and take it.
No, we're gonna have to go forward and destroy it. All right.
That was good.
Yeah, but
We need drops.
We definitely need drops for sure.
Also, we need you to stop beating the shit out of that
I'm
stand.
gonna stop. I'm gonna stop beating the shit out of this stand. We're definitely gonna have to change some of the setup for episode.
Of course, but this is
100%.
episode 1.
Yep.
And,
What are you
we
gonna
just
do?
wanted to get it out there because we felt like we've been holding in this idea
Well, yeah,
to get and also just to talk and just get the talking out there because we
Yeah.
do bits all the time.
We really
and I'd
do.
rather
It's kinda
we'd
painful.
rather just someone else see it.
I
or
miss-
or if we can make you laugh, if we can make you think, make you listen to a new album, make you find a
That's
new
really the goal.
genre of music that you like, or just a new artist that you like. That's perfect. Then we did the thing that we came out to do.
We really did. We really, really did. I'm with that, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've been happy with what we made so far. I also am just glad to get back to some content creation that isn't like strictly to pay my bills.
Yeah.
And it's something actually that I can enjoy that isn't like a written project.
Yeah, like I feel like this is our thing. Like we get to do whatever we want with this kind of thing, and it's nice. It's like it's not like I have to go now show this to someone and get approval to then move it on to the next part of the process.
Yep.
Not that that's a bad thing, No,
not
it pays
a bad
bills.
thing.
It gets clothes on my back and food in my mouth. So
absolutely, and that I could not be thankful enough for.
But anyways, current events.
Yeah. Well, look,
I think the Biden administration is going to be interesting. I like that
seems
he's
like
doing an all-female. I'm tired. He has like an all-female
yes,
like board in multiple sections and sectors of the executive branch, including his advisory board.
He does.
So, dude, as soon as like each one of them was announced, there were like, 4 or 5 dozen people who immediately on Twitter were like putting things out there. Were like, yeah, well, this person did this in their past. Oh, well, their race. Oh, it's like, dude.
Nobody's going
it's
to be
full of women of
squeaky
color,
clean.
and it's like, dude.
Dude,
I'm saying dude a bunch of times, but like it's crazy to me that like just give them a chance.
Bro.
You're not even giving them a chance to do something good.
Yeah, dude, that I hate that.
Just like you have to find something bad about them. You have to know all the bad and good. You can't just like be like, all right, like unless they have like a history of doing like some horrible things.
Shit. And then obviously like, yes, you should get them out. Of course.
Yeah, like obviously.
Well, yeah, but then
or if there's someone like Brent Kavanaugh who is like literally lying about something that's very clearly happened.
I just like beer.
Yeah, like
I just
like beer, dude.
I love that, dude. The way that they parodied him on SNL.
When you come up to one of your frat bro friends and you say, "Hey man, I think you're an alcoholic." I just like beer. Oh, dude.
Judge Kavanaugh, have you ever blacked out from drinking before? Have you?
Yeah. It's like, do you recall?
I don't know.
Do you recall what happened the night that you blacked out? Do you? That one was a question that I was like, all right, come on. Yeah. Do you remember that time when you were unconscious? Do you
remember?
Do you?
The 21st night of September.
I don't even remember when he was accused of doing this.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Anyways,
the point is, yes,
it's just like I give him a fucking chance. Good Lord, I mean, like,
you got to give people a chance to evolve.
He might not be great. You can not like Biden. That's fine because he has a history of terrible. His crime bill is one of the worst fucking things I've seen
also kind
ever,
of the reason
and
why
he's one of the reasons for the mass incarceration. So I totally get it. I totally
he
understand.
Against a lot of other shit. He was kind of anti-abortion.
He was
anti-LGBT.
He
was anti-LGBTQ.
Like it was just like, yes, he has a bad track record. I'm totally cool. I don't like him either. I can't stand Joe Biden. I think he's fucking fake as hell. I think he's a cardboard cutout with a rod in his ass that's keeping him propped up.
Unfortunately.
So, but people in his cabinet, I think that like people around him are starting to put other people in place that are younger, that have more experience, and that actually have a different perspective from the people that we've been seeing for the past fucking, I don't know, forever.
Yeah, dude, that's the most important thing that everyone's forgotten is that Trump has made us think that it's literally just about the personality of the dude. And it's like, dude, it's the team. It's the team that they're bringing
They're doing a team project.
Exactly. And that's why I have some hope for the administration. I don't think it's perfect by any means. And we're like getting towards the end of time that we have for this week. So I'm not going to dive into the specifics. But as I said, I'm optimistic.
It's so weird. Like we hold people to like standards of like royalty almost, where it's just like you have to how like royals have to have like this like poise and like they have to be seen in a certain way, and like you can't come off like this, like, and it's like that's what for some reason people are wanting out of politicians, and it's like no,
it's a messy
the whole
game,
point
man.
Is that it's just a clusterfuck of every single kind of person. And right now obviously financially it does not represent everyone in the country.
No,
financially, no. It's very fucked up. It's also like age-wise, like tombstones.
Yeah.
Our Congress looks like a graveyard.
Sincerely, dude.
And not just on a federal level, on a state level
They
too.
need to set term limits for members of Congress and more
age
importantly, age limits for running for office. Dude, if you have to be 35 to be president, and if you have to be like something like, what is it, 25 or something to be a senator, House of Representatives,
to be a legislator.
representative, dude, you should not be able to run for a national office beyond, say, like 65 or 70 years old. And I don't give a shit if somebody calls me ageist for that. I'm sorry.
I don't even think it should be just national. I think it should be on any elected official position.
You are not, and I'm not
anyone
talking
who
about
has
competency.
legislation and like it makes laws. Like any kind of like representative of a group or a district, there should be age limits, and that's fine if you say I'm ageist. Yeah, sure, because it doesn't matter for them.
I just think,
and
if
what
a
are you
law,
gonna do? Chase me down in your little wheelchair?
Exactly. I think if a law
You're
you
old.
put into action
You're
is going to
old.
be fucking terrible, you should be around to see it become fucking terrible and then have people call you out on it. So if you're 70, 80 years old and you help pass some legislation that's going to make me pissed when I'm 50 and I'm 22 years old now, you think my 50-year-old ass is going to remember you? No, I'm not. I'm going to be mad at some new guy who's in your position now, and I'm going to blame him for a bunch of shit and everything like that until somebody brings your name back up to me.
And then we're going to go, oh yeah, that guy sucks. And then we're going to be peeing on your grave. Yeah. I'm going to pee on your grave.
Directly onto your
I'm talking to you,
site.
Mitch McConnell, Ted Cruz, fucking Matt Gaetz.
Oh God, there's a lot of people that really,
Jim Jeffries,
really need to think about
Jim
that.
Jeffries, not Jim Jeffries. That's a comedian. Who am I thinking of?
Jim Jeffries, the comedian. We're coming
not
for
Jim
you.
Jeffries. Jim something.
Jim Jeffries.
Jim something who I can't
swear,
stand. Lindsey Graham. Lady G. Hey, Lady G.
Lindsey Graham.
Hey, Lady G.
Lady G.
If anyone doesn't know about
God.
that, you should look up Lady G.
I
Lindsey
don't know
Graham
about that.
videos on YouTube. I think you should look that up.
About that.
You don't know what that is?
I don't know what that is.
Oh man. Okay. So basically, I'll have to get into it on the next episode.
Yep.
Because it looks like we're about to be at time.
Yeah, we're about to get down to about an hour, guys. So we wanted to thank you all so much for coming out and
One
watching
last
the
thing.
first
Can I get in one
podcast.
last
Yes,
thing?
of course you can.
By the way, hey, pasta on pizza, that's 2 meals. Stop calling it one.
That is a dirty lie. We are going to fight about that next week.
One meal.
Dude.
That's 2 meals, and you're a coward for not saying that you're eating
Phil,
2 meals.
First of all, if it is 2 meals, what you gonna do about it? And second of all, it's not 2 meals. I am not a coward, and pasta is a very good addition to pizza.
By the way,
it's not my favorite.
Yes, it is 2
and
meals
I don't
because
order it.
it's called pasta on pizza. So pasta by itself,
but there's chicken,
meal.
But there's chicken
Pizza
on
by
pizza.
itself,
There's
meal.
Dude, there is broccoli pizza, and you have eaten broccoli only as a meal so many
But it's a
times.
side. But it's a side.
All right, guys. Well, we were fighting for longer than we'd care to admit about that, so we're just going to make that a segment.
He hit me.
Did not, Phil. And if you ever talk again, I swear to God, Phil. I swear to God.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Anyway, so we're gonna bring that up on the next podcast. On the next episode, we're gonna try and upload next Monday and keep on our regular Friday Monday schedule. So
Monday, Friday.
Yeah, Monday, Friday.
Friday, Monday.
Hey, what does it matter if we're uploading the first time on Friday and then it's Monday and then it's Friday again?
Monday, Friday schedule, guys.
Monday,
just so you
Friday
guys know.
schedule. All right. Well,
So thank you so much for tuning in.
Yep, thank
this
you
is
guys,
super
sincerely.
fun. We love just like podcasts and listening to them all the time. We've
That
been
has been
waiting to
good.
make our own since a long time ago, since
Yeah.
like 2018,
Yeah.
basically 2017.
Yeah.
So, thanks so much for tuning in. If
Thank
you
you,
did,
guys.
and give it a like,
peace
like
out,
and
guys.
subscribe.
Yes, please like, subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye. I'm making that the drop at the beginning. I'm making that a drop. Penis cocky in my ass.